This video is going to be about how to clean a Taurus Revolver. I happen to have a Taurus 85 steel revolver, 2-inch barrel, 5-shot right here. I'm going to use to demonstrate. Most important thing, of course, before you start anything with the gun is to make sure it is completely unloaded. You can see there are no rounds in this revolver. What I'm going to use to clean this gun, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to use one gun cleaner. This is a CLP. It's a cleaner, lubricant, and protectant. It's called Original Gun Oil. This particular brand is non-scented, non-staining, non-toxic, which is why I like to use it. I can use it in the house. It doesn't stink the place up, and it just makes it very simple because it's also going to protect and lubricate as well as clean. I'm going to use a good gun brush with a small and a large brush, and I'm going to use a Boresnake to clean the barrel. And it's basically just a long Boresnake. It's got built-in copper brushes to help get any caked on grime out of the barrel, and then it kind of wipes everything clean. We'll see how that works as we get there. And then I just have a cotton rag t-shirt. I cut t-shirts up into a bunch of pieces. Before I move on, please don't forget to subscribe. I've got lots of gun cleaning videos, all different kinds of guns, all different kinds of methods of cleaning on my channel. So check it out, hit subscribe, and you won't miss anything new. All right, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the barrel and the cylinder. So I'm going to just put a few drops in each cylinder. And that's just kind of work its way around to kind of start loosening the dirt and grime. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a drop in each end of the barrel. And then I'm actually going to just spin the gun around a little bit, let that stuff move around, and I'm just going to actually let it sit for a few minutes to let that gun oil kind of loosen up any dirt. All right, I've let that sit for about 5 minutes or so. Looks like it's in there good. So I'm just going to take Boresnake. I'm going to start with the barrel. Just going to drop that through. Now you just want to be careful, especially if your gun is new, which this one is not. When you pull the copper brushes through, you don't want it to let it scrape up against your finish of your gun. So keep it nice and protected. So just kind of pull this through. It's a little tight, but that's good because that's going to really clean the barrel up good. I usually put that through twice, 3 times if I've done a lot of heavy shooting and I think like it needs extra cleaning. Pull that through. That looks good, looks nice and clean. Now I'm going to do the same thing with each of the cylinder charge holes here. Just going to pull that through each one. These aren't going to be too bad, but you can look through there and see how bad they are. So you might only have to do it once, depending on how dirty. And I'm just going to do it once. Now, as we're finishing up here, did the last area, I'm just going to wipe it down a little, get some of the excess oil off if there was any, get that nice and clean. All right, the next place I'm going to go is the breech face here. I'm going to make sure this is clean. So I don't necessarily want to put it right on the firing pin. That's where the firing pin comes out. Just going to put a little bit next to it. And I'm just going to smear it around a little and let that sit for a few minutes as well to kind of loosen that dirt. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to put maybe a drop in here. We want to clean this hinged area. Don't want that to get crudted up. So I'm just going to kind of smear this around. Again, this gun oil is non-toxic. You can use gloves if you want. Actually, I would probably recommend that just because it gets all over everything and it just things get slick. But I'm just going to use my finger and I will wash my hands well later. So again, put that over there. Let it sit for a little bit. All right, now that oil's sat for a few minutes. Just going to get my brush and kind of use the brush to clean and loosen all the dirt. Also going to use it to get down in here. Clean that up good. Again, be careful of your finish if you've got a new gun. You want to make sure you have a soft bristled brush so it doesn't scratch anything. All right, once you've loosened the dirt, then we just want to wipe it down real good with the rag. And one of the tricks I learned to get into the nooks and crannies is you can use your brush to push the rag into the nooks and crannies to get in there and just kind of remove all that oil and dirt and grime. That works fairly well. All right, the next place we want to get is beneath the extractor. Get some dirt can get down in this area here. So I'm going to get a little oil in there and clean that up. So you want to be careful here that you don't have this out and then go to close the cylinder, because then you're going to scratch your gun. So you might want to hold it this way. This way you kind of hold it open with your hand. Extend that out. Put a drop down in there. A drop on here again. Just smear around a little bit. Underside as well. You want to get down on this surface. Spread the oil around a little bit. And again, let it sit for a few minutes to loosen the dirt. All right, after a few minutes, extend that out. You can do a little additional brushing to get everything loose off of there. And then again, take your rag. This is a good place where you want to use your brush to get in there. Get in there a lot better. Try and get all that goop off of there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. All right, once you got that clean, release that back down, close it back up. Now the next thing on this gun I'm going to want to do, I'm going to carefully pull the trigger back. Now we have some, you can see down in there, it's pretty clean. If you see any dirt, you're just trying to pull it out with a brush, get that cleaned up a little bit. And if necessary, get a little rag down in there just to get any loose dirt out of there. Taurus does not recommend taking the gun apart any further than this. If you feel the need, like you got a lot of dirt down in there, you'll want to send it back to Taurus to have them take it apart and clean that up for you, if that's what you want to do. All right, the gun looks pretty good. Also, I have a aftermarket grip on here. It's just a screw that holds it in. If you want to take the grip off, it just slides right off. To clean the rest of the frame, it's really not necessary to do that too often. Okay, now we just want to lubricate the revolver. There's really not a lot of lubrication that's necessary, but we want to put a drop right down in this hinge area here. Just a very tiny drop. Just put a drop, move it a little bit, and then wipe that off. You just want a little bit going down in there. And then open up the cylinder. Want this to spin nicely, so we want to put a drop right there where that spins. Just again, a little tiny drop, and then wipe off the excess right away. You just want a little bit going down in there. All right, then we want to put a drop right on this shaft, so this just moves in and out easily. Again, one drop, in and out a couple of times. Wipe it off a little, leave some on there. It's nice and lubed. Okay, and the last place, we want to put it down in the trigger mechanism, right down in there. So again, just one tiny little drop. Look, put a lot on there. And then wipe off the excess. You just want the littlest amount in there. And then double checking. Drop the hammer carefully. Double checking no ammo. Now you don't really need to let the hammer fall strongly, but just kind of move things back and forth to work that in there. All right, and now you're pretty much done. What I like to do, especially if you're going to be storing the gun, is just put a drop and just kind of, you just want to keep this from rusting over time. I would just kind of put a little, smear it around a little bit. Try and get a little on the outside, and then wipe that off. You're just trying to get the lightest little coating of oil that's going to make the gun look nice, as well as keep water, moisture from getting to your finish. Wipe it off good. If you put too much oil in there, if you just let it sit on its side for a little while and come back later, any of the excess oil will kind of leach out. So put it on a paper towel and let it sit for a few hours, and then come back and you might see some oil kind of drip out. Then you can just wipe that off, and then you are good to go. All right, if you like this video, please feel free to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. All the items I used in this video, there will be links in the description below. And thank you so much for watching.